Hi there, my name is Evan. I know that everybody's gonna watch this, like Preston, etc., are all gonna sit there and be like, I know who you are. I don't care. I'm uploading this to YouTube. If this gets more views than it should, then it will. I'm currently the secondary teammate of the Triad, that is the best team in the South region of the United States, I guess. That region is like 5 or 6 states, and we are the #1 team in that whole region. Currently, we are 18-0 in sets, and we are 6-0 in Team V teams, and we're 36-3 in games. I'm just going to be reviewing a set I played against my friend Preston, who used to main Sheik and Zero Suit, and I'm playing Zero Suit and Sheik in the last game. And the reason I'm uploading this is because it's a very neutral-based matchup. There's going to be a lot of intricate situations and like interactions between the characters, etc. And I kind of want to upload this that way, since my friends, they seem to have trouble, taking in information the whole way, they'll be able to, go over this video, go over everything that's going on, be able to fully understand what I'm talking about, and if they don't understand something, they can just replay it and to fully grasp the concept. That's about it. I hope y'all enjoy. I'm going to try and make this entertaining for y'all, because I know sometimes I'll be yapping and it gets boring, but, I'm doing my best. Hope y'all enjoy. Love y'all. Alright, so now I literally just stopped the video after like 5 microseconds passed. A singular move has happened, but the beginning of the game is extremely important, and understanding what you are aiming for to do at the beginning of the game can actually dictate the entire pace of the first stock, which can dictate the entire game if you know how to play the characters, or if you're fighting Kazuya. So here I do a drop-off platform nair, and the reason for this is because I know Preston knows, since he used to main Zero Suit, that on small battlefield, like 9 out of 10 times, Zero Suit just fucking drops off and zairs. And although it's a good option, it's very known if you play the character, so in my head I'm just going to play my character and play what I want to do. So the reason I do a nair is because it's safer, and the reason that I didn't do a zair is because I know Preston and I know he can react, so I'm going to show a little clip of why you don't zair immediately off the platform against Preston. And due to this, I decided to do a drop-off nair, simply because it's safe on shield, probably safe on parry, I don't know, that move is hella safe, I hate that shit. So here I end up doing a rising up air to catch Preston going back to stage due to him, clearly missing his combo, etc. So after I hit him there, it was just true comboed out tilt, which is, I don't know why I comboed into that, but I guess I was just smoking crack at lunch. So now real quick as well, I do want to point out, check out my reaction times here. Look at how fast I react to the situation and call Preston out when I know he's vulnerable and also not expecting it. Another thing I did, and tried to make kind of obvious, was I put out purposefully this trait of running the corner every time I did something that was slightly riskier or I wanted to feel comfortable, and I don't think Preston ever picked up on it. I was deliberately putting myself into this situation that he could capitalize and punish upon. I mean, there's nothing stopping him from doing a rising nair into down B. But he simply just chose not to punish my obvious habit, which is something that you need to be paying attention to, because this action is going to continuously happen throughout the set, and I'm going to be pointing that out. For example, right here you can see I capitalize off of one of his mistakes, and rather than just true punish downward and left tilt in the corner for no reason or not even that much of a reward, I decided to wait and make him panic or overthink the situation to the point that he would do something stupid to get back to stage. That way, in his own panic, it allows me to get a greater punish, which could potentially result in a kill. Although this is Zero Suit, so let's be honest here, that nothing can kill him right now. Giyarsh. Okay, so one, besides the movement, obviously, from recovering, that's just Joker stuff. There's the tech that goes into, like, running away and doing a slingshot nair into the safest nair I've ever done with Zero Suit. Oh my god, that shit was probably -1. There's just a lot that goes into how I was trying to keep him at bay and prevent him from closing the distance, because in a scrapping situation, although they have the same frame jab, which is frame 1, and, maybe similar F-tilts, his F-tilt true combos into make-believe everything, and my F-tilt true combos into make-believe nothing, so don't really want him getting in on my character. Also, goated SD from me. Very, very, very skilled. First off, this absolutely baller balls out rising nair from me from the ledge. After the rising nair, obviously I called out his A landing with a back air, because a lot of Sheiks tend to land with A since it's lagless. This is actually something you should know about your matchups, because if you're fighting someone such as Mario, for example, who also likes landing with A, knowing he likes to land with A is something that you can call out pretty often, especially since most mains of those characters have built up a habit, such as Preston playing Sheik here. He doesn't particularly have that with his mains now, but hey, old habits die hard, I guess. Okay, so here my controller deadass just decided it was gonna start holding down. So this is my controller. If I would touch the stick like this, it would just hold down, and I fixed it in mid game. To be honest, this was half a call out and half a read, but I did notice that he was flickering shield a lot, and also was kind of getting this weird tempo whenever he was pressured. So I caught on to the tempo and eventually just, called him out for letting go of shield too early. In that kind of scenario, you shouldn't be fearing Zero Suit like that. You should really understand that she can't do shit to kind of kill you unless she's charging an F smash and breaks your shield or something. So you should kind of just sit there and just hold shield forever, and then let the down smash hit your shield, and then, I don't know, your Sheik, dude, just do a rising nair out of shield and then tech chase or something, I don't know. Down air that goes to Christmas Pass, thank you controller, and then immediately after charged in F smash. I'm not gonna lie, I did that fully on purpose. It was just the wrong way, and also I don't even know what I was cooking in the first place. This dude's at like 11%. Then yet again I tempo caught Preston, I realized that this dude was like dashing at a specific timing, etc. So I just like short hopped and then waited and then instant pivot grab, because I knew that he was going to end up landing and trying to do something confident, but Zero Suit's grab kind of just says you can't do that. I mean, it's also pretty good against Fox dash attack from what I've seen from Mars versus Light. Too bad, Fox also has an aerial dash attack that killed at 80, so GG's. teabagging Preston's face, I realized that he kept on doing like roll away, rising nair in, or dash away, rising nair in, just trying to like, you know, come in and out of his opponent's attack range, which is good. You should be doing that. However, you should change the way you get in and out of your opponent's attack range. You shouldn't just do the same 3 or 4 options over and over and over and over, hoping that's going to work. With Sheik, you know, you can get away with some of that, but no matter how fast your options are, you should still understand when and where you're allowed to press a button, rather than just, I'm going to press a button every fucking second and hope that this works. That's just not how the game works. So ignore the fact that it's been a full entire day since the last time that we conversed upon this game. I'm going to be commentating over Game 2, and I'm going to take a less basic approach and rather go more on the gameplay side and explain certain things he can do in scenarios that he could do better. I won't say who his main is because you got to keep your boy's main a secret. Can't be outing my boy like that, but you know. I started this game with like a call out with the instant grab that I did with Zero Suit. Obviously, you know, she doesn't really have the greatest grab, so it's a pretty unexpected option, especially for a lot of opponents. However, it's also a good call out because most opponents, if they see you dash in instantly, they're just going to shield based off of pure instinct alone, because a lot of characters have really good burst range dash attacks, rising nairs, Zero Suit's rising forwarder is like amazing, so I just decided to grab him. It was just a call out. I was just being blatantly ignorant and hoping for the best. If it didn't work out, I would have just gotten, you know, a 70% combo to the face. Yet again, right here, you know, I repeated that rising up air from ledge because although I got punished the first time, I know that like somebody that is decently like good at the game, or like at least understands punishing to a certain extent, is gonna go, well, I just punish that option, he won't do it again. Essentially what I'm saying is being blatantly ignorant over something that you know your opponent understands, at least to some degree, can actually lead to a kind of mix-up that a bad play becomes a good play in some kind of way. You'll actually find Mars talking about this a lot if you watch him review this light set. I'll put the link in the description, y'all should check that out. This sequence right here is just so pleasant to look at because the way I wall him out and then call him out for being desperate to go back to center stage and kill him using it is just immaculate usage of Zero Suit. I dash attack to keep him cornered. I miss a grab, he misses as punish. I miss my down smash. And then I do a landing nair, so in case he tried running in early, it would true combo probably into like Zair or something, maybe even side B if I was feeling a little risky. Then I went for a back air above his shield in case he decided he was going to jump or press an early button. And then I decided that I was going to instantly like drift back after the back air to cover more stage and keep stage control, and instant pivot grab and up throw him instantly, and he died. I end up flip kicking high because I reacted to Preston using his side B, and I end up grounding him, and in my own reaction I assumed that he was going to mash out in time, so I did it early up B to catch him mashing out. However, he mashed out a little later than I thought, so I actually had the kill here probably. I just didn't go for it because I assumed that he'd mash out faster than he did, which is unfortunate, but it happens. You gotta hold that sometimes. And upon seeing the same situation twice, I end up grounding him yet again because he attempts to go for a parry. Like the first time, he has a slower mash than I anticipated, so add the slower mash on top of the fact that he was already at a higher percent, he's just doomed from the start. Then upon seeing him charge his up smash whenever he drops off of the angel platform, I end up dashing into him, and I was being really ignorant and really stupid doing this, but I just wanted to be cool because I'm cool like that. Then after, SDing for no reason, I decided I was going to go and fish for a couple up airs, some combo starters. I run up and jab Preston, and then I go for an F tilt read. I go for an extremely safe nair, and then I catch him dashing away with a grab, which then of course I chump check him with back throw flip kick because I'm a cheeser. I then start this game with the absolute wildest sequence of events, and I guess a lot of you might be asking what the purpose behind these are, and really I can sit here and pretend like it was a mix-up, but truth be told, I was just listening to the voices in my head. They get louder every day. I end up mixing up my recovery here to catch Preston off guard since I noticed that he was going for something that wasn't particularly the safest option. So rather than go for something such as like a rising forward air, I went balls out and just decided to jump off the stage, then jump, then down B on top of him. Because even if it procced his shield, it would just end up bouncing and I could mix up my landing from there. And Sheik doesn't necessarily have any options that are just going to kill Zero Suit at 72. So there's not much to really be scared of. And then, of course, it kills him. Alright, so now that Preston just died, there isn't much that I had to say, so I'm sorry I literally just disappeared for like a minute and a half. This game is just a lot of like outplaying and neutral and catching the tempo better and everything. But here I died, but here I started catching on to his tempo. You can see there's just like a button, 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 and I started calling him out with these 3 grabs here, you see. And I actually remember getting all three of those grabs on Preston, and I called him out on it too. I said, "You really need to change up your tempo. Like, stop." I said, "Stop running in. Stop running in. Stop running in, Preston." You know, since we're like shoulder to shoulder at lunch, you know, he's obviously listening, even though he's got headphones in. And there's a lot that goes into these kind of scenarios, especially whenever it comes to like mind games. You know, understanding that your opponent wants to run in because he's Sheik. He doesn't want to sit there, you know, at lunch and waste precious, valuable time he could be eating, sitting there and throwing fucking needles across the stage for the whole game. So obviously he's going to try and do something, but it boils down to how well you understand your opponent and what they're going to go for. Because regardless of how good your opponent is, they're still a human being. They still have emotions and habits and common options and a tempo. So as long as you can catch on to them and understand what your opponent is going for and when they're going for it, you can actually do some quite magical things, such as this triple grab read I got here. Wow, Zero Suit is so bad that getting 3 grabs in a row is considered a read. With Joker, that's considered a combo. Crazy. Bottom tier type shit. Okay, so in this kind of scenario, it's actually really good to understand that due to the game's, let's be honest here, terrible coding, there's a lot of delay even when you're playing offline based on your wireless controller, plus the delay of an air dodge, plus the delay of maybe you have another controller connected to the Switch, which adds a frame of delay. Or maybe, you know, if you have Bluetooth headphones in, that can actually interfere with the Switch and add frames of delay. The game is, the whole console is developed awfully. However, what it means is there are situations where you kind of can't just air dodge on reaction to an aerial coming at you, especially when you're off stage. Well, I guess you wouldn't be able to air dodge on stage. Anyways, essentially what ends up happening is what happens here, where I call, you know, it looks like, oh, Preston just set down his controller and got up air back aired. Not necessarily. He just tried air dodging right before those things happen. And obviously, you know, if he air dodged through my back, I would have just back aired again on Zero Suit. But the thing is that you kind of need to know already that you can't just air dodge through something like that, and instead you need to either down B over it as Sheik, because then you preserve your jump and you can jump and, you know, drift and change your landing and do something safe, land with an A for, you know, an air for God knows what reason. But the problem is he kind of just tried playing too risky, too, you know, balls to the wall, and you can't really do that as Sheik. You kind of got to play safe, dude.